Bankruptcy is real. It has a face. It has 8 chapters, 3 important ones. For the following people, bankruptcy is real. These are their stories.
My days always started out pretty typically. I would wake up, feed my fish, and curl up with a cup of hot tea on my couch and log on to Etsy. It's what kept me going, you know. My husband works, but he could only find a job that paid $25,000 a year. We were renting our apartment and making 2 car payments. The trouble started when my credit card came in the mail. With that platinum card in my pocket, anything on Etsy was just 1 click away. We started relying more heavily on credit cards every day. My husband's salary just couldn't cover an apartment, 2 car payments, and my craft obsession. Once we couldn't make even the minimum payments, we decided to start ignoring the credit cards. We eventually had $28,000 in debt. We sought help and decided to file for Chapter 7, or liquidation.
Liquidation.
Oh, thank you. This would give us a fresh start. Our non-exempt debts would be discharged, and we could start all over. Oh, what heavenly music that was to my ears. Right, honey?
Yeah.
We got to keep our apartment and our car. They were exempt. But we turned everything else over to the trustee, and he sold it all. Everything. Etsy was no more. For me, anyway. I did learn some interesting facts about Chapter 7 bankruptcy, however. Did you know that any person can file for Chapter 7? That includes any individual, partnership, or corporation. There are exemptions, however. Railroads, insurance companies, banks, savings and loan associates, investment companies licensed by the U.S. Small Business Administration, and credit unions cannot file as debtors under Chapter 7. Huh, who knew? Did you know, hon?
No.
Another thing, we were allowed to file for bankruptcy as a couple. It was great to really come together as newlyweds. I was so over that single life, you know? Wasn't that great, honey? Well, now we have our fresh start. It's kind of like we're 4 college students again. But it's been a real learning experience for the both of us. We've got some bad credit on our record, so now it's not all clouds and marshmallows. Would I do it again? No, I would not.
I blocked Etsy.
Benjamin Connor, 37, a single man, freelance writer, latte art consultant, and magician, entered the magical world of bankruptcy in 2008.
Yeah, I heard that magic joke. You think it's so easy being a magician? It's a tough crowd out there, man. Sometimes they're hard to fool, and I don't go by Benjamin Connor anymore. It's Benjamin Le Magnifique! After the economic downturn of '08, I got let go from my well-paying writing gig at Vogue magazine. I was an associate. An associate! It was tough sometimes. That's when I decided to become a magician. I had an uncle once. He knew a guy, the incredible Steve. I called him up. He said it was the best gig ever. Birthday parties, county fairs, magic expos, Dungeons and Dragons tournaments. Everybody loves good quality magical tournaments. I mean, I know I was going to make bank. But I wasn't doing so hot in the old savings account area of my life. So I took out about $200,000 in loans to start purchasing magic supplies. You know, like hats, wands, handkerchiefs, you know, playing cards, rabbits, things like that. I was prime. I was ready for my first show. But guess what? No one booked me. The kid's mom said she would only hire an experienced magician to work at her son's birthday party, but I heard that like 6 more times. By the time the seniors centers started rejecting me, I knew things were not going well for Benjamin Le Magnifique. I had some espresso experience in the past, so I knew I was a shoo-in for the new assistant manager position at the local Caribou Coffee. I got the job. I immediately filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. The individual repayment plan, since I had a regular income and less than $360,475 in unsecured debts and less than $1,081,400 in fixed secured debts, I knew I'd be eligible for this amazing opportunity. I talked with my lawyer and appointed a trustee. I deducted my living expenses, determined my disposable income, and started making monthly payments. The plan was set to get me out of debt in 5 to 7 years. Now, in year 3, I can tell things are going great. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And hey, things aren't totally over for Benjamin Le Magnifique! I convinced one of my friends to start working at Caribou with me, and she really loves the slate of hand tricks I do during the morning coffee rush. Right, Mar?
John Slytherin, a 28-year-old male, stern husband, an aspiring entrepreneur, experienced hardship when he attempted to open his own e-commerce site called Etsy. The ensuing lawsuit caused his company much hardship, resulting in Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Okay, first things first. My site wasn't called Etsy. It was Etsy with a Z. Different suffix. That didn't stop Etsy's legal department from suing to get me to change the name. Anyway, here's my story. So my wife went through her crafty phase back before she was a barista when I was working as a janitor at a car dealership. And she just kept going on and on all day about this Etsy website where all her dreams could come true. A virtual marketplace bringing customers and vendors of handmade merchandise together in a capitalist utopia of mutual togetherness, respect, and harmony. And I said, heck, better jump on this train before she derails. So I called up my buddy, MySpace Tom, and he fashioned me a website, and before you know it, I was running my own site. Etsy, right from the basement. I stumbled into a gold mine. We bought in hundreds of thousands in the first year, and I started plans for expansion. I borrowed $200 grand from various lending institutions, hired a couple web developers, and got a few of those squishy balls to sit on while we worked, like Google. Everything was going great, and then Etsy.com comes at me with this lawsuit claiming that my name was too similar to theirs. Are you kidding me? Etsy. How do you even...
I know! Where do they get off?
Stop. Just stop. Then, after paying all these legal fees and renaming my site pleaseBuyStuff.com, there was no way I was ever going to pay back my bank loans. My two web developers up and left, and the world seemed against me.
I supported you, honey.
Like I said, chaos. The banks kept leaving me polite but obviously pointed voicemails. Please make your minimum payments, Mr. Slytherin. That would really make things easier for us, thank you. Like they didn't have a clear agenda. I was this close to snapping. Then my lawyer dropped some sweet knowledge. Our federal government has this sweet deal called Chapter 11 bankruptcy, reorganization. I found out this type of bankruptcy is most often used by corporate debtors, much like my company, pleaseBuyStuff.com, LLC. Chapter 11 allowed my company to pay back a portion of its debts while some of the other debtors were discharged. Bankruptcy saved the day again. We got it all figured out with the banks in a matter of months. It was a long, frustrating process, one that I definitely don't want to relive. But we got back on our feet. Eventually, we regained trust for our customers, established our brand, and then eBay bought us out for a sweet middle. I couldn't have been happier. Now me and the wife are on to bigger and better things.
John and I started Slytherin Animal Sanctuary. It's a 501c3 that finds trees for homeless squirrels.
These stories, both true and scary, detail the horrors of bankruptcy in its various forms. Be good, be safe, be responsible, or this could be you.